Hello and welcome to another video about cryptocurrency. Today we are doing a technical analysis for Algorand. I know this project seems to get more and more attention at the moment. I received various messages and not necessarily emails, but comments underneath my last videos if I could do an update on Algorand, and I'm happy to do so because I myself, I'm invested in Algo, so full disclosure here that it's not entirely unbiased necessarily. But on this channel, we try to make sense of current price action, try to make assumptions about what could happen going forward, and try to understand why prices moved in a certain way. And we try to make out certain patterns as well. So let's take a look at the weekly here. This is the weekly chart of Algorand, probably like the all-time chart starting 2019. There is no 200-day moving average on here just because they don't have enough data to calculate it, but the 50 and the 20. And we have been trading between the 20 and the 50 for a while now. We are below the 20-day moving average still, so we haven't actually managed to, well, we're actually on the weekly, and that is an extremely good sign. I just see that now. On the weekly, we have now managed to break above the 20-day moving average. I think that's a crucial one, guys. We are already above, we've been above the 50-day moving average for a while now, since May. Well, no, actually, we've been all the time above the 50, but we now already in the drop after like the all-time high of Bitcoin and everything, we dropped here on Algorand below the 20-day moving average on the weekly, but now we are above again. So that's nice. So what you can see here very nicely, last week we closed above it and we retested it, and hopefully this week we'll close above that level, which is at, where are we? 103, 104. Yeah, so in that range. We don't want to be below that. We want to close above the 20-day moving average. I think that would be really nice. We can clearly see an uptrend here. That line needs to be a bit steeper actually, but we can make out an uptrend here and a really nice one actually. So we're gaining momentum. So that's just what I can make out just from looking at the price action. And what we can see, we saw two huge green candles here. Of course, there's a slight consolidation now after this huge pump. I actually bought I bought here at, I think, 79 cents, and then I bought again here at 115. I do dollar cost averaging, so I'm not worried at all, but generally I am in profit. But I know many of you guys are interested in Algorand as well. What we can see on the RSI on the weekly, seems to be it's been losing momentum a little bit, but bear in mind this is the weekly one, so we're looking at all these weeks from the beginning of the year. But lately I think there was sort of it bottomed out here at around the 50 line. Above 50 we are normally like in bullish territory, so it started to bottom out in June, and now since August we're actually above the 50 line. So we moved up and now consolidating a little bit, which is nice, which is fine, which is all good. Nice and healthy price moves here to the upside on the weekly. Let's take a look at the awesome oscillator, which looks really good because we're just about to move above the zero line, maybe another week or another couple of weeks. And if it carries on like that, we should move above the zero line, which many people see as a buy signal. And together with moving averages, it has always worked really well for me. So this is obviously the longer term trend, but if we are above the moving averages, the 20 and the 50, and if we move above the zero line, I think that's a really good sign. Very similarly, the MACD is also about to make a bullish cross, probably next week or the week after that. So we can move again in green territory. And the last time that happened, we saw some really nice price increases. But that was the weekly. Let me just close these down again, and then we can take a look at the daily. And then we move our way down, maybe even to the 4-hour chart. But bear in mind, I follow Cardano very closely, so I pretty much know what's been happening in the last few days and everything. Pretty much know very well the Cardano chart, but Algorand I don't follow that closely, so please bear with me. So the daily chart, we can see clearly on the daily that we are already above the 20 and we are above the 50 moving average. We haven't yet managed to close above the 200-day moving average. Well, we have managed to close above it, but we've lost it again. And last video I made was when we actually closed, I think, above the 200, or we were about to close above, but we unfortunately then now lost it again today. But bear in mind, today is not over yet. So, but you can clearly, and that's just a bit of education as well for you guys. I know many of you are interested in learning about that. So take a look at these candles here. We had a nice move to the upside, but then the candles got smaller and smaller and smaller. We were losing momentum, and then sometimes when you can see that losing momentum, then we can move to the downside. But here we have the 20 and the 50-day moving averages to support, and from my point of view at the moment also nothing to worry about. Looks like a completely normal consolidation for me. Still an uptrend. Clearly we can see that we are actually above the 20 and the 50-day moving average, so this is all looking fine for me on the daily. And if we take a look at the RSI, we're not in overbought territory. We've actually made some new highs, yeah. So, and the highs, yeah, it's getting higher as well. Not really losing any momentum at the moment on the RSI. That is going down, it's fine, but it could be that the next move goes up again and we might make a new high here. So looks like an uptrend on the RSI, which is bullish, which is really bullish. And bear in mind that is the daily one, so it moves quicker than the weekly one. And here as well on the awesome oscillator, very bullish. And on the MACD also, we are in the green. All looks good. We made a bullish crossover here at the end of July, and since then we've stayed in that range. So to me, on the daily, it all looks good, but on the weekly, you know, the daily is obviously ahead of the weekly. So on the daily, it's all looking bullish already. On the weekly, we are only about to make these bullish moves in the next couple of weeks. So the longer term trend is going to become really bullish, I think, for Algorand. We look at the weekly. And here on the daily, I can only hope that today potentially, hopefully we will close above the 200-day moving average. Well, if not, then we might drop down to the here the 20-day moving average, which wouldn't be dramatically, because even then we might just continue that uptrend. It's looking good, honestly. It's looking good from my point of view. We can have also a quick look on the 4-hour chart here, just to give you a bit of more understanding. 4-hour chart, we're already above the 200-day moving average. I think that's an important point to make here. What we can see, obviously, the drop looks more dramatic on the 4-hour chart, but that's totally normal because it is just acting and moving quicker. But yeah, we saw clearly how it was losing momentum here, and it was starting to, you know, it took longer, or it was more difficult to get to higher highs. Then it dropped, went up again, couldn't really make a new high, and then that is normally a sign that it could be dropping again, because if we see that pretty much like a head and shoulders pattern, but you know, where the momentum is dropping and then it's going down and then it's trying to go up again, but it's not really getting up to the previous high, that's normally a, you know, can be a reversal. Yeah, can be a reversal of the trend. Bear in mind, this is only the 4-hour chart, but this is why it was dropping. But now, yeah, now on the 4-hour, we've got support here, 90 cents. That would be pretty much quite a bit down. But I just hope that, like on the daily that I showed you, we will have these support levels that hopefully, yeah, we'll be able to stop that price decrease. But it could really be also on the daily that we drop down to just below $1 here, where that 20-day moving average currently is providing support. But I wouldn't worry, because honestly, even though prices seem to move a bit slower with Algorand, we have something potentially here, and you can see it on the daily, which looks like a little bit like a cup and handle pattern. So again, we've got that round cup shape, and now we could make that handle shape. Yeah, so we need to see what's going on in the next few days. But then exactly would just be very similar to what we saw on Cardano. So in my opinion, these price moves here on Algorand, they're clearly lagging behind the price moves that we saw with so many other cryptos at the moment, or in the in the last few weeks. And also it's lagging a little bit behind on Cardano, I think, clearly, because we haven't even made new all-time highs here yet. So for me, I'm staying bullish on Algorand. I think patience is key here with Algorand. They've got a bit of funny tokenomics, but yeah, I'm bullish. But bear in mind, this is never financial advice. But for me, the chart really looks bullish. The indicators look bullish at the moment. And well, as I said, we also need to have a look at Bitcoin. As always, I think Bitcoin, a bit concerning at the moment with the losing momentum. Hopefully we can get some more momentum as well. But this could go on for a little while. We are really struggling to get through the 52 or 50K anyway at the moment. But on the Bitcoin chart, we are still trading above the 200-day moving average. So that is a really good sign. We just need to closely observe. We can't just only look at Algorand in isolation. But hopefully that made sense. Put your mind at ease a little bit. That's just my opinion. As always, make your own one up, please, yourself, because everybody's eventually responsible for their own trading decisions. But for me, I'm happy to invest a little more in Algorand. I only bought a few days ago in some Algo coins, and again, I'm bullish. It might take a little bit longer for it to pick up, but I think a breakout to the upside will be imminent. At least I hope so. And all the indicators are telling me that that could be coming. All right, so hopefully you liked that video. If you did, please smash the like button. And if you want to follow me, then please subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.